Once upon a time on the rim there was a man. His name was Kitt, and he was determined to survive after all he had been through. So he surveyed the area and decided this was the place to set up a new home, start his own colony, and do his own thing. So after being there just a little while, he got started. The first thing he needed was a place to get out of the rain and have a place to sleep. So we deconstructed all of these things that was right here readily available and got started. Now he had no idea just what he was getting into, but he decided to do it anyways, and he was going to do it the way he wanted to do it. So after deconstructing all of that, he started building a place to put a roof. He worked hard and put everything he had into it, but he realized that there was predators in the area and he needed to get some kind of protection really fast. So he worked all through the day and got as much as he could done. He even got a passive cooler put down and moved some rocks. And then he decided it was time to get some rest. The next day, right back to work. He got up, cleaned up in the river, and started cutting down some timber. And needless to say, he ain't even got a weapon. So he's gonna have to start thinking about getting a weapon really soon, because there's a lot of predators in this area. And as the day went by, he started thinking about it and got a little bit paranoid. So he runs inside and he starts working on a short bow. At least he'll have something. After that, he felt like he could sleep peacefully with a little bit of security. He was up late, so he sleeps late the next day, but he knew he was going to do something that was going to take a long time, and he needed all the energy he could get. So he got to work expanding the place, making it bigger. Nightfall came. We had visitors, but he wasn't interested. He was a little bit tired after all that digging. But he woke up hungry and he had to go all the way across that creek just to get something to eat. So he decided to move some of his things closer and get them inside. When suddenly he realized there was a mad rat coming at him, and he wasn't going to let no rat take him out. So he got started shooting at it with this new fandangle short bow, but he couldn't hit him. So he had to run and run and keep running. And he was trying to shoot it, but he couldn't hit it while he was running with that bow. So finally he slows down and tries to take aim at it. And sure enough, first hit, he takes it out. So he was running and it wasn't helping, but he finally took him out. After that, he figured that's better than a packaged survival meal, so he takes it in there and does what he's got to do. But after all that shooting with the bow, he was a little bit tired. Instead of cooking, he opted and took the packaged survival meal. And that gave him just enough energy that maybe he can just go cook a fine, simple meal. So that's what he does. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good, and he knows it too. So everything seems to be going good. or so he thinks, and he continues on with his day. And at the end of the day, he's tired and he comes in to, get some sleep, of course. And as usual, he gets up and he wants something to eat, and right to work he goes, doing what he loves, planting those gardens and growing that. He loves to grow food, so that's a good thing, especially when you're off on the Rimworld. Don't forget to hit the like button, it really helps me out and it's absolutely free. So he continues working and planting his garden. He's growing some rice and potatoes and some heel root and some cotton. And that should be enough for just him. Later on that night we had a visitor, and he wasn't friendly this time. He came in and fired at him. So he fired back, but it was dark and he couldn't see him. He took a bullet, moved over behind some trees and bushes. The attacker moved in closer. He took another bullet. He just can't seem to get him with that bow. It's so late and dark, he can't see. He moves over, takes aim, but takes another bullet. He moves over and takes another bullet. Now out of desperation, he moves back over to the left and finally gets his shot. Takes him down. Out of that, he strips him before he passes, gets his stuff, and now we have a weapon. So now he realizes he's got to protect himself, and the only way to do that is by stopping everything that comes his way. The next day he realizes he needs food, and there's a capybara close by, so he starts taking aim on it. Even though there's some boomalopes there and they can start fires, he's got to take a chance and try to get this. So he goes after it, shooting, tracking it. Finally getting some shots in. Suddenly a panther comes out of nowhere. But he continues to keep on shooting. Finally he takes it down, but the panther decides it's his meal. So he does what's best, and he returns back to the base to continue building. Maybe he can salvage what's left after the panther is finished. But for now, he's gonna finish building the base and surrounding it with sandstone instead of wood. Later that evening, he returns and regains what's left of the capybara as the panther watches on. Even though it was late, he knew that he needed this in order to survive. So he carries it back, takes it to the butcher table. Before he goes to sleep, it's taken care of. The next day, right back to work. He decides to build a place for a latrine and a place to wash up at the same time. So he builds a primitive well and puts in the latrine. And while he's working, he's thinking to himself, it'd be nice to have some help around here. But then he thinks, nah, maybe not. But anyways, he's thinking about it. Next, he comes up with this bright idea. He's gonna try to hunt a little bit, but he doesn't realize just how hard these are to bring down. But anyways, he's gonna try. So he finally hits it once. But then he starts missing. Every shot, no good. But he did get it once. If he could just get that one shot, he would have it done. And suddenly, he does. Nice shot. Somehow he gets the feeling it's not gonna be easy. So he keeps on cooking a few more meals before he decides to lay down and get some rest. He knows that he's gonna need it. The next day he was out in the field working when suddenly he sees this guy come around the hill and he's like mad or something, so he starts firing. But it don't stop him. Even though he hit him 2 times, he still don't stop. 3 times. He's got 3 arrows sticking out of him. He's still coming after him. That's 4 shots. He's got 4 arrows in him. 5 arrows to bring this guy down. Finally, he gets him stopped. Again, this makes him stop and think. Maybe it would be nice to have some help around here. Maybe he can't do it. Either way, he's thinking about it, and it's making him think even more. He goes right back to harvesting the rice. He knows he needs it. All of a sudden, a trader arrives, and there's a bunch of them. So of course, he's gonna go check them out. And lo and behold, it's a slave trader. So we're gonna check these. He's gonna check these people out, and he may actually rescue some of them. And after further review, he does decide to take 2 of them, Sissy and Dusty, at the price of 2,338 silver. So he welcomed in the colonists and told them it's time to work, and they agreed. So now, a colony of 3, he's not alone. He immediately builds 2 beds and everybody gets some good night's sleep. The next day, the colonists start paying for their freedom by building and helping. Building the base bigger and going into the mountain. Over time, the base grew in size. And over the next few days, they worked aimlessly to make the base bigger and haul all the supplies in. And sure enough, hard work does pay off, because the base did get bigger and the supplies did get hauled. It was a great feeling. So these guys are getting it done. 3 people on an adventure of starting a new colony with their leader, Kitt. One day while they were out working, getting things done, they heard a sudden scream. Someone was being chased, and they were headed our way. They were bound to join our colony. All we had to do is defend off the man-hunting rats that were chasing her. So they're headed our way, and guess what? We're ready. She makes her way into the colony base, and we're gonna make our way outside to defend them off. So colonist number 4 has just joined our base. And we stopped the man-hunting rats. So now, after wishing and thinking that maybe he needed some help, instead of 1, there was 3, and now 4. So there's 4 colonists now, and building stronger. A little bit later on, and there was a transport pod crashed, and we seen another opportunity. So we checked this colonist, and he was suitable. So, if I'm not mistaken, Kitt's up to something. We'll have to find out what it is. And just as I expected, Kitt was up to something. He's gonna capture them and convert them. So sure enough, he goes out and brings them back to the base and captures 1 person. So now we have a prisoner. We will have to care for them, feed them, and clothe them, and try our best to convert them to join our colony. We're not rich by far, and this ain't the greatest place, but maybe they'll join, and that would be a 5th colonist. So whatever you guys do, be sure to hit that like button. And after you smash that like button, be sure to stay tuned and find out what happens in the next episode. Thank you for watching. I'm the Cloud9 Man, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a great day.